Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. I'm not sure it should be a welcome back at this point, to be honest. It's been that long. It should just be a welcome. Feels like the first episode all over again here. 24th of October, last time we done one, but we are back. We do still exist. We are a podcast. So here we are. Here we are. Happy New Year to everybody. Merry Christmas. Liverpool have gone through the worst form in 70 years and are now on a 10-game unbeaten run since the last time we come to you. So an awful lot's happened. But yeah, um, it's been a while is the main thing. But gonna get right into it. You know us, we don't hang about. We go on about things a bit too long, like, but we don't hang about. Gonna talk about the Arsenal game first and foremost. Get the positives in there first. Because there was a lot of positives to take from last night's game. First half, I think we had to weather the storm a little bit. We let them sort of go a bit gung go, seeing what they could throw at us. Didn't really. They got past us a few times, got in between, got in behind us a few times, but overall, I don't think they really caused us any major issues in that first half. And then second half, we've come out and we've looked like the Liverpool of old a bit. We had to go. We were hungry. We wanted it. We were battling in the midfield. We were winning second balls. We were passing them off the park. We were playing them off the park. It was a fantastic second half performance, and the only thing that was missing was a goal to win it. What we richly deserved in the end. I think if we didn't have Frimpong on the wing, who to his credit I thought was brilliant, just the final ball was lacking every time for him, unfortunately. But I think if we had Ekitike or if we had Isak or if we had Salah, I think we win that. And to come away from the Emirates having got a point and being disappointed with that after thinking all week that we were going to concede 4 or 5, it's a weird position to be in.
Yeah, do you know what? I think the first half it played out how you'd expect it. They looked like the team that were desperate to win it. They looked dangerous until they got near the box, and I was never really under any impression that they were going to score. But there was a few moments where like you fucking cover your eyes because the ball's fizzing across the box, and you know how we defend. We can be a bit rash and make mistakes, but I thought we were solid at the back. I thought we showed the fight and hunger that we've lacked. I thought players like Kanate, who've had a horrendous season, were right up for it. Thought he was first to the ball, he was clearing the ball, he was staying in position and stuff, and we sort of looked like we were zonal. We were protecting an area as opposed to 1v1s and stuff. We were just protecting our goal in whatever way we could, and I thought we defended well. I don't think they lay a glove on us really. Um, the best chance of the game comes in the first half, and it's for Liverpool. We've got in behind them. They've made a mistake, and I think Bradley should really score. I think it all happens so fast. I think if he hits it hard, the inside of his foot to the right, I think he scores.
Mm.
But he dinked it, and it's always hard to get it up and down. But it's still a good effort. Like it all happened. It's good looking at it and going, oh, he should do this and he should do that. But it's football. It's live. It's heat of the moment. He's acted how he acted, and he missed. But I think we were the better team. I think we looked like champions the second half. We took the game to them without really, again, similar to them, without really like testing their goal. Didn't really like bombard them. We had all the ball in the middle of the park. There was times where it goes to Szoboszlai and you're waiting for 2 or 3 bodies to march forward, and he stopped the game and told them to go backwards, and it pissed me off. He'd done it every time. His hand gestures to calm down, and you're like, come on, one of you in that midfield has got to use your initiative here and go and win the game for us, because we haven't got a striker. One of you is going to have to get us in. I was part thinking Frimpong was going to get in behind and make something happen. What you're saying is final ball. I think it's hard to lay a good final ball when there's not a Liverpool player in the box at any point. Gakpo lingers on the back post, makes no attempt to get near the ball. Frimpong, lightning. I thought he was our best player. I thought he absolutely tore them apart. Final ball, yeah, is a bit of an issue, but I think he hit the ball into the front post a number of times, where if Isak or Ekitike are there, or even like a lingering centre mid, like a Gerrard or something, that's a goal. You're scoring a few. I thought Szoboszlai was at fault for not being in them areas at times, and when he was, he hit it over. But overall, a game I didn't expect to see us win, a game I didn't expect to see us get a point, and we come away disappointed that we hadn't won the game. So for that, you can only give the lads credit. I didn't at any point think that it was going to be 4 or 5-0 to Arsenal, because I think they play the exact same way as us. It's boring to watch. It's a bit lacklustre, but they have moments that are brilliant that we've lacked this season, and that's why they're winning more games. I thought it was going to be an edgy game, but I thought they'd have been in complete control and passed us off the park and just practically showed us who was boss. And it was the other way around. We showed why we're champions, and I hope we can take that form into the rest of the season, because if we do, it's not going to be a 14-point gap at the end of the season. Guarantee you.
No, I agree 100%. I'm not sure who said it about us not so long ago in Arsenal. I think when you look at the two teams, I think we've got more. They said we've got more world class players. We've got more elite players than Arsenal, but they've got a much better squad at the minute. Especially with the injuries and stuff. And I think our recruitment in the summer, it was good. It was really good. And I think all of the players that we signed are going to come really, really good for us in the future. But we still haven't done enough. We need to do something in this window. I think still having, Slots mentioned himself, having 3 fit centre backs isn't, we can't go on like that, especially with Konate's and Joe Gomez's injury history. We're not going to survive like that. So we do need to go out and get something, whether that's Mark Gay. I don't know. I can't see it at the minute, if I'm being honest. If we're waiting to try and get him on a free in January, I do think we'll end up at the end of the season, I think we'll lose out on him. I think someone will come in and get him this window. I think City will go in and get him. I said it the other week myself. With them getting the injury to Gvardiol, I see them going in and just pay him what they want for him. I seen something the other day that Glasner is happy to stay at Palace if Palace sell Gay to City, but if they sell him to us, he's going to leave. Like, what's his problem with us? You've beat us 4 times in a row or something like that. Like, you shouldn't have a problem with us. Leave us alone.
Yeah,
just give your player.
Right. No, I think it's frustrating with the Mark A situation, because it's like he's obviously a player it was like a foregone conclusion. He was signed, he was coming, and then they've done a U-turn. The player hasn't. It was the club, but show will and tell him, be in his ear and say, listen, we're coming for it in January. Be ready, pack your bags. We're gonna fucking pay the fee. If they, we offered, what was it, 35 mil or something. Offer 30 now. Just go and get him. It's money that we've got in the bank. There's no point having all these brilliant players. I know some of them are injured, but if we can't defend our goal, and if we're lacking at the back, there's no point having all the best attackers, because we're going to concede 2 or 3 a game. Konate is improving, but he's injury prone. Gomez, unfortunately, is injury prone. Looking at the right backs, Conor Bradley, his injury record for a kid his age is horrendous. He must play about 15 games a season. He's always injured. Frimpong, the pace the lad goes at, he's going to get injuries throughout the season, 100,000,000%. So you're looking at having Gomez as your backup right back. And you've got Ramsey, who I just don't think Arne Slot trusts. But I would like to see him get a go at right back if Bradley's out, and keep Frimpong right wing. But then you're relying on Gomez as your backup right back. You're relying on Endo and Gravenberch as centre halves if anything goes wrong. So we need to go into the market. We need to spend. And that there's been a podcast recently with Neil Atkinson having a go at the hierarchy and saying they have left us short. They've done brilliant business, but they've still left us really short. And we're short at the top, we're short in the middle, and we're short at the back. And you can go and spend 500 million on a few players, but if you haven't got the depth to compete, what's the point? Yeah. So as soon as we get a few injuries, we're fucked, because we haven't got the quality on the bench to match the quality in the starting 11, and we need to go and fix that soon, starting now, ideally. Because Mark Gay, if he goes to another club after having Arteta on and doing his interview and all that we're a laughing stock. and we've seen it happen before. So, you know, we need to go into the market as champions and say, listen, we know we're fucking shit at the minute, and you're the man to fix it. You're the man to come in. You're the next leader of this team. You're 25 or whatever. You're going to captain us. You're going to do this. You're going to lead us to European Cups. That's what we want. Go and talk in his ear and get him to sign and pay the money, whatever they fucking want, because we need backup. There's no point going and getting a fucking, you know, Ozan Kabak plays at the back for fucking 2 games and he's shite, and he goes back the next window. No, go and get a player who's going to be there for the next 5 or 10 years. Go and sign someone who we need. So we don't need to panic. We know who we want. We've got a list of players who we'd be going for in the summer. Go and get them now if we can.
Yeah, and now you're exactly right, because you know, you look at the Semenyo situation, and obviously he was a name heavily linked to us in the summer as a potential signing for next window, for next summer, and you know, City go in and trigger his release clause, and that's done. Now I think it's a bad move for him. In all honesty, I think it screams of the Marmoush deal from last summer, where he'll play and look great for them for 6 months for the rest of the season, and then he won't really get a look in next season when they go and buy more players. I think overall it's a bad career move for him. But you know, he's made his decision. We got to live with that. But it's disappointing to see us lose out on what has been, you know, put out there as a potential major target for us. So we've got to make sure that doesn't happen with Mark Gay as well. Obviously, we have made a couple of moves at centre half, but the young lads, they're not going to play now. They're going into the under-21s, and like, that's great. I'm made up that we're building for the future still, and it's always on our mind. It's fantastic to see us do it, and I really commend them for doing that. But we need fixes now at the same time. And obviously, we're on this 10-game unbeaten run now, which again, on paper, especially after the last, you know, the 10 games before it, we lost 7 out of the 10 games before that. So to be on a 10-game unbeaten run now, the way that was going, is fantastic. But there's still only 5 wins in that. You know, we started off with 5 wins this season. I think we've only won 5 more since then. So in 16 games, we've won 5 league games. That's not good enough. And we're just fortunate that the league is on its arse. That the fact that we're still fourth, how we're fluking this, I have no idea. So yeah, we've got to go and make moves. We've got to, like you say, show that we're champions. I think the Sky interview with Szoboszlai a few days before the game, I think that has lit a fire under them a little bit. You know, the reporter saying to Szoboszlai, I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
You know, are you going to play against the champions, the ones who are going to take it? No, we're not. We're the champions.
It was
And
a disrespectful, stupid fucking
100% disrespectful.
And he, do you know what? Rather than being PC and going, oh yeah, we are the champions, and he's right. And I've just put a post out myself. We are the champions until someone else is confirmed champion. So we need to let everyone know that. When you come to Anfield, you're playing in the home of the champions of England, and we need to get behind them and we need to support them. But we need the players to respond and play like champions, because when they do, we look that way. We look quality. But just it's just a mad mix of things at the minute. Can't put my finger on what's been going wrong with us and where the form's at and all the changes and stuff. But it's a big mix of everything, and I think I'm open. You know, we get through the season, we get in the top 4, which I think we will. I think if we can go on a run of wins now, we can put a bit of pressure on those who are right behind Arsenal, and hopefully kick them up the arse to go on to topple Arsenal from the top. Either 2 of them, City or Villa. And if we can be within the mix or within the conversation with 5 games to go, a couple of points behind here and there, then fucking why can't we dream? You know, it's a fucking long shot. We're not going to make 14 points up on Arsenal, but if we can be there or thereabouts, and still be within the conversation going into the last fucking 5-6 games of the season, then you've just got to see what happens. But you know, I just want to see us playing football now and enjoying ourselves, and trying to. The pressure's on us as the champions to stay in that top 4, but we need to start playing like champions and playing like a team that is Liverpool, because over the season we haven't looked like Liverpool Football Club. And something today ignited in me again where I seen the manager pissed off for how we played against Arsenal when we were all buzzing with it. And I thought, that's what I want. I don't want him to be content like us. We're content because we've been shite and we weren't expecting nothing. When your manager's the same, you're like, no, he was like, well, no, we weren't that good. We didn't have no shots on target. Didn't do this, we didn't do that. That's what I want. I want the fire in his belly to go and be better and to create chances and to convert chances into goals. And that's what he sounded like. He sounded hungry and he sounded angry. So going into the next few games, hopefully we see that side of it and we start playing football.
Yeah, definitely. Just to sort of go back to the game because we've kind of glossed over it a little bit. Obviously, like we said, no goals to talk about, but there was a few contentious moments in the game, let's say. So I want to go through them very quickly. So first one, penalty shout for Frimpong in the first half when he's gone over on his ankle. First view, and I didn't think it was a penalty. I did, to be fair, first view, and I didn't think he got touched by him. I thought he'd just gone over on his ankle. When you see the replay and they've had to slow it down very, very slowly, you see that there is a slight touch and that's made him go over on his ankle. But for me, I don't think that one was a penalty.
It's hard, isn't it? Because he's made contact with him, which has made him go down when he had the ball, and it's twisted his ankle, which another couple of mil, he could have been proper injured. So yeah, I think some referees would give that as a penalty. Some VARs would make you go and look at that and make a referee have a decision to make. Go and have a look, see what you think. Is the contact to make him go down? Yeah, because the contact has twisted his ankle completely. Yeah. So yeah, it's one of them. It would have been a little bit harsh and it would have been soft, but in the fucking laws of the game, he kicked his foot, made him change direction, and he's gone down. So it technically is a penalty, but it would have been soft.
Yeah, I think it falls under that category of couldn't understand if it was given, couldn't understand it not being given. It's sort of like a referee's discretion one. It's not a straightforward one.
If you remember the Welbeck one with Brighton,
yeah, don't.
Robbo was like
gone to clear the ball,
touched his toe, and he's gone down, and he's facing away from the goal. And the ball's not in. Do you know he hasn't? Yeah, it's just that was given because they're the rules. He's him, and it's a penalty. But again, it's us, so you don't get the soft ones. You never do.
The one on Vert's second, I think it was second half anyway. Trossard just body checks him basically. Doesn't play the ball at all and cleans him out. I think that's a stonewall penalty myself.
Again, I think it's hard because he puts his foot across him, but his foot's planted, so Vert sort of moves into him. Do you get me? So he obstructs him, so he doesn't actually kick him. He puts his foot across him, so Vert has got to move out the way. But yeah, it's still a foul. If that happens in the middle of the park, you're giving a foul.
Yeah.
But because it's in the box, he doesn't give it. So.
And you know what? I was talking about that with my dad last night. I hate that whole thing. Like a foul outside the area should be a foul in the box. There shouldn't be like different levels of foul because it's going to result in a more damaging thing for the opposition. Like if it's a foul, give the foul. Like you just said, if that was anywhere else on the pitch, it would have been a free kick. But because it's in the box, it's not a penalty. Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. A foul is a foul is a foul, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bukayo Saka, I don't even know what to call it. Just kind of kicked Kerkez in the thigh, and he just got on with it. He just kind of didn't. I say kick. He didn't really kick him, but you know what I mean. He hasn't tried to play the ball. He swung his leg at his thigh, and Kerkez has carried on. He hasn't gone down, and he hasn't got nothing. But to me, again, that should be a foul and a yellow card at the very, very least.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and again, credit to Kerkez for just marching on. Again, it happens to us all the time. We try and continue and play and be fair. We've missed out on penalties and that. There was one a couple of weeks ago. If we'd have went down in the box, penalty, but he stays on, so we don't get it.
I think it was the Leeds game, the 0-0.
Yeah, but didn't actually say that if he'd have gone down, he'd have got the penalty.
I don't know. I don't know if like any officials said it, but I think the commentators and that everyone was saying it, like pundits and that. He was getting hugged. He was getting fucking bear hugged, and yeah, he stayed on his feet and he's tried to play it across to Virtues and had a shot blocked by 3 different people at the same time. So
That's the problem in the football. That's why some players feel contact and they go down because they don't get anything. But it's ruining the game because players are going down for nothing. So that's why I understand the whole thing with the Conor Bradley situation. If that would have been them and us, I'd have liked to see us have a little bit of bite. But as Keane said, you've got to read the room, read the player, read your opponent. We're not that type of team to dive down on that. Conor Bradley's certainly not the type of player to dive or go down and fake an injury. So yeah, you need to read the room, but we need to be a little bit nastier because someone should have put that cunt right through the stands as soon as that. The minute he touched Conor Bradley, someone should have been there having the fucking arm around his neck, pulling him to the ground and booting him and taking a red card, or fucking waiting and kicking him into the stands. But we're too nice. Alisson was fucking shaking his hand and everything. Pisses me off.
Alisson's too. I don't know.
Christian.
Yeah, you know what? It probably is a little bit of that, but I think because he knows him, he's his mate. He plays with him in the national team, and it was the same. I can't remember what it was. Was it? Might have been the Tottenham game. It was Alisson again. He was playing the peacemaker, and it's like, you know, Kanate last night was the only one who looked like he wanted to actually kill him, and we should have just let him. But yeah, it's like I say, we're not the type of team who do that kind of thing. We don't go down and fake injuries. And you know, now that there's footage been resurfaced from 2020 or 2021, whenever it was, where Martinelli's gone down off the pitch and Arteta's screaming at him to get back on the pitch and go back down, and he stands up and walks onto the pitch and then goes back down. You know, it's been horrible because I've agreed with so many people I hate over this the last 24 hours. Fucking Gary Neville, agreed with him on it. Roy Keane, agreed with him on it. The worst of all, Jason Cundy, agreed with him on it. Like it's been, but when you've got these people, like there's even Blues online. I've seen Everton fans and Everton pages and that talking about it as well, and it being in our favour. And you know what? Most Blues are like, you know, our player could get like sweet chin music with the ball nowhere near the fucking players, and he'd still say that the other player was right. Like they don't give us anything at all. So for them to say that this Martinelli's a gobshite for doing what he done, like it's the fact, you know what, like the push is one thing. He's thrown the ball at him as well. Like throw the ball at him, push him off the pitch with his injured knee, pushes his injured knee, and then Roy Keane pointed it out. I didn't notice at the time. He's trying to fucking shoo him off the pitch with his foot as well.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 different things there, and he should have got sent off. It there was more than one yellow card offence in what he done.
That's what I mean. There's a Liverpool player there who's seen him throw the ball at Bradley, shove him in the back with his shin, and push him off the pitch, and has done nothing. And that's frustrated me more than Martinelli doing it, because as our manager come out and said, the way football has gone, people fighting and going down in that 94th minute, you're frustrated, you want to try and get the win. You are just wanting the game to go on. You're like, why can't you roll off the pitch? Because he's fucking seriously injured. Probably done his cruciate ligament, you soft cunts. But I wanted our players to react, and there was no reaction, and that pissed me off more than at all. I think Roy Keane, I hope Conor Bradley remembers it, and I hope it's Conor Bradley who goes through him and fucking breaks him in half next time he sees him, because that's what Roy Keane done to Haaland, and that's exactly why, because that's what happened to Keane. Keane had done his cruciate ligaments and had Haaland stood over him, spitting at him and calling him a pussy. So
yeah, if anybody knows about
Keane
that entire situation,
no one mentions the Haaland bit the season before. They only ever mention Keane's horrific tackle. Now I don't want Conor Bradley to go and do that to Martinelli. I hope he does it higher up. But no, I don't. You don't want to see that type of tackles fucking career ending. But you want to see him fucking boot him up the arse and put him in the stands at least. And yeah, footy's footy. You want it to be physical, and the way the game's going now, it's not that physical. So when something like this happens, everyone's shocked to the core. But yeah, we're not the type of team to fucking faint and play injuries
No.
and that. So he should have
And the
been.
thing is, like, you could see how much pain he was in. Like, you can't fake an injury that bad. Like, nobody fakes an injury and is like on the verge of tears faking an injury. Like, it's they roll about and they hold it and it's dead sword and then they get up and fine. Like, you could tell straight away because it wasn't a contact injury or anything like that. It's the way he's landed. Like, that straight away tells you that it's not a time wasting thing. Like, it was bad judgment on Martinelli's part and he's reacted like a twat.
Yeah, 100%. That's basically it. You know, you can't say much more on it because you don't. You know, he's getting called all the fucking cunts under the sun, and he's reacted in the heat of the moment like an absolute bellend. And if our players would have reacted the same back at him, I'd have just forgot about it. But that's pissed me off more, and I think that's where we are, like losing a little bit of respect from other teams, and that we are just too nice. We are too nice. We want to be
too honest.
Too honest, yeah. Fuck off. No, let's go out and boot players and let's go and fucking play the dark arts and do whatever we have to do to win football matches. We're not asked. Don't want to be all lovely all the time. Just go and win football matches and whatever it takes. And that's the difference for us this season is we're just not like that. And the players who were like that over the years, your Hendersons and your fucking Milners, your Robbos, they're obviously not here, and Robbo's not playing. So it's we need to install that back into us where we've just got someone a little bit feisty. Kirkes is a bit like that, to be fair, and Conor Bradley's a bit like that, but obviously he was the one fucking injured. So we do need to get a few with him. But so if one team in the league, if I was playing for them and I got into a fight, I wouldn't want to play for Liverpool because I know I'd get my head punched in because I'd have no one supporting me. You'd have Alisson throwing digs at you in support of his Brazilian mate, the soft cunt. So yeah, I wouldn't. It's just that's the one thing that pisses me off with our team is they're just not. They're all together and friendly, drinking coffee and being mates and training. But when the going gets tough, they don't have each other's backs, and that pisses me off.
Yeah, it's you know it's funny you say that about Alisson because it's like historically it's always the South Americans who are the feisty ones who are the ones who want to punch your head in. I'm surprised McAllister wasn't more involved yesterday. But like, Darwin Núñez, imagine if he was there, he would have been like, he would have drop kicked someone. He probably would have aimed for Martinelli and it fucking David Raya, but he would have done something about it. But even I don't know, even if like Curtis Jones was on there, we seen what he was like with Decore last season. Even if he was on there, he would have like. I mean, he wouldn't have done any damage, obviously, but like he would have thrown himself about a bit and just got in someone's face. And it is just even Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott's 3'2", but he would have been in everybody's face and letting them know.
But that's the thing when like that's the problem with football these days is that's the way players think. They think about the physicality and all that, and what is the point? They overthink everything, whereas there's no instinct anymore in the game. Everything drains out of them. They're like robots. I was thinking this the other day. They are trained robots. They know how to respond to every situation and how to keep the cool and that. Like if that was between Gerrard and Vieira or fucking Keane and Vieira years ago, you're talking a full fucking 11-a-side fight there. You're talking a brawl on the pitch with staff and everything because that's how footy should be and that's how it used to be. Everyone at the back, you went to war. Now it's not like that. They're all mates. They're talking in the tunnels and that. And as I say, even if it was for the cameras, Alisson should have fucking walked past Martinelli and said, "Don't, you've just fucking done that to my mate. Fuck off." And then if he wants to catch him in the tunnel and go, fucking can't be seen in front of the fans. Fair, do it. If you want to do that, fucking do it. You shit house. But I thought it was disgusting. And I think in a week's time you'll go, fucking hell, that was a bit over the top, weren't it? But it's proper pissed me off. And we see it too often. We're just too nice. I would like to see one player just throw a fucking dig one day and just go, do you know what? Fuck the red card, bang, get over it. Get in the stand game.
Yeah, just fucking get John Joe Shelby back to throw some digs in it or something. Jay Speeden, he'll fucking hit someone. I mean, he'll punch them and it'll hit the chest.
It's just the ball.
That's all he can reach to. Yeah. No, it was just like I said, it was just he's acted like a gobshite. He's reacted in the wrong way, and again, I hate to reference him because I absolutely can't abide him, but Jason Cundy said it. He's judged Conor Bradley by his own low standards because
Yeah,
it is something he's done and will continue to do, and that's how Mikel Arteta has his teams. That's how he coaches his players because he coaches them to be absolute horrible little fucking shithouse bastards.
like something out of a film. Remember when he turns up? He turns up at Arsenal, looked like a fucking model, dead tanned, fucking dead keen to get going, dead fresh in the face and that. And as the years are going, and obviously he's getting older than that, he looks like he's turning into something else. He looks like when a manager goes to we used to say it about fucking, my dad used to call Fergie Al sour face. They just turn, they have a little screwed up, fucking angry, horrible face where everything's negative and everything's nasty and everything's a big fucking game to them. And it was the same with players when they used to go to United. They like see Teddy Sheringham, and that was like your model professional. Went to Man United, was a fucking cunt, angry, horrible, nasty cunt. And they just have players that turn that way. He's the same. He's done it to Arsenal. I'm saying that to an Arsenal fan today. Like, if they could have Arsene Wenger back playing the football Arsene Wenger used to play, and had the dignity running through the club the way he had it, because he had Arsenal, a proper football team, a proper football club with class, and they won the right way and they conduct themselves in the right way. Obviously, when shit hit the fan, they had each other's backs, but overall, they were a fucking top club that probably every other club's second team because of the way they play football, the way they won trophies, the way they conduct themselves. They'd all swap Arteta for him now because Arteta is making them like a Man United, like a Chelsea, under Mourinho, an unlikable, firm cunt, insufferable, like over the top, self-indulgent, self-interested gang of twats who think they're better than they are. That man's won fucking absolutely nothing in his life as a manager. I think has he got the arse end of an FA Cup? He's got the arse end of an FA Cup. He's a nearly man, and he's got the arrogance of Mourinho, Ferguson, Klopp all into one. Like he walks on water to himself. I know people who work for Arsenal who've said the same. When they sit down for team meals and all that, the conversation has got to be about what Arteta wants it to be about, and he runs the whole table, and you can't differ in opinion from the conversation or whatever. He's meant to be a self-indulgent little prick, and you can see it.
And it shows.
That like he hasn't got us riled up because he's a brilliant manager and he's winning football matches and they might win the league. People don't like him because he's not likable. Like with Klopp, I have had this conversation today. Klopp, you know, the antics on the touchline, the running on the pitch when we score against Everton. Yeah, that's what footy fans, proper footy fans, want to see. That when it's genuine, when it's fucking real. 90th minute winners against your derby. You want your manager fucking going over the top. Sometimes it was a bit over the top, but he watched it as a fan. Arteta was punching his seat 5 minutes in yesterday for the cameras for nothing. Yeah, absolutely, the ball went out or something. Nothing, absolutely nothing. He's just a fucking fake. He's a phony. He smells of beef and cheese. He's a prick. So yeah, I just don't like the man. I think he's like a fucking lizard person. I just can't stand him, and I really do. I don't like the Arsenal fans. I've had a conversation with about 100 of them today. We've had the victim shouts, the poverty shouts, the murderer shouts, Hillsborough shouts. I think I've spoke to 3 or 4 who were genuine. I had a decent football conversation with them, and we had a little bit of banter, and then it enrolled into an actual debate and an actual conversation, and it turned out, yeah, it was all like that. Fucking, it ended up a bit classy, but the rest of them, their online fan base, think they're better than they are. The self-entitled twats who think they're going to win everything. And I honestly, 6-point gap to Man City with 17 games to play, with about 50 odd points to play for. Who the fuck do they think they are? Swanning out like they've won the league, because they're not the best team in the league. At this moment in time, they've got more attributes to their game to sneak a win and get the better over the other teams in the league. But football-wise, and I'd even go as far as saying squad, I don't think they're the best. And I don't think the football they're playing and the way they conduct themselves, I don't think they deserve to be champions. So I'd take anyone else to win that league other than them.
Yeah.
And that includes Man City, the cheating cunts. But
I agree.
We know what City are. They don't fake to be something else. They don't pretend to be something they're not. They just Man City. The fans know what they are, and they carried it well. So what? We've got all the money. We know where the money's coming from. And what if we've cheated? You can't take our memories away. Fair enough. Each to your own. Arsenal are pretending to be something they're not. And at this moment in time, they're pretending they want them to be as close to us as they can be without the class. So,
and that's it. I think,
I fucking hate them.
You needed that, didn't you?
Yeah,
but that's the thing in it as well. I think the thing is with City, if they go and win the league, no one's asked. Like, although everyone knows they've cheated and they've obviously still got these charges hanging over them, but they'll go on and win the league, they'll celebrate it, and then that's it. You won't. It'll be done then. Arsenal will go on about it for the rest of eternity. Like, it doesn't matter if they ever win another league, they'll just carry on going on about it. They're just unbearable. Like you said before, they used to be everybody's second team. My dad says it all the time. He used to absolutely love watching Arsenal. I used to love watching Arsenal. The players they had, the way they play football. Arsene Wenger, for the most part, didn't really make excuses if something didn't go the way. Obviously, every manager does to an extent. He didn't do it as much as others. And yeah, they were a joy to watch, and you wanted them to do well as long as it wasn't at our expense. And then, like you say, didn't work with Emery there. Nothing really changed. And then Arteta comes in, and he's trying to be this little Pep wannabe with none of the success, but all of the arrogance, like you said. And he's just an absolute fucking gobshite, and he's turned them into gobshites. And it's even some of the players who were likable beforehand have changed fast. Like, I was going to say Declan Rice there, but I actually don't think he's that unlikable. I think he's a bit of a.
He is changing into it though.
He is changing. He is. He's not as bad. I think the one for me is actually oddly Trossard. I think he's just an horrible little weird looking corpse, looking gobshite.
Gabriel Saliba. I think that Saka can't bear.
Yeah, Saka. I don't like Saka.
He was born with a limp. That cunt. Fucking can't stand him. Honestly, come out the womb limping. He's a prick. And they go on to us about Darwin and that. He walks onto the pitch with a limp. Got a constant fucking limp. I hate them. I fucking hate them. And as you say, there is players there that are slowly, it's seeping through what he's bringing, this fucking like a negative energy. It's like he's sold his soul, and you can see it fucking creeping out of him week by week. He's getting fucking whiter and whiter and thinner and looks iller and iller. So, yeah, fucking can't stand them. I've had enough. I've had enough of Arsenal thinking that this fucking be-all and end-all football team when the whole club is a generic carbon copy of everything that they've seen before. From the songs to the way they play football. It's just everything they've seen. From the manager doing the fist pumps like Klopp. Like, there's nothing real about them. There's no DNA in them. All the DNA they had.
Not authentic, is they?
There's nothing Arsenal about them anymore. They are a mix of like Chelsea and Man United from years ago. Throw in a little bit of the antics like Klopp on the touchline. Throw in the fist pumps, trying to be likeable to your fans. When I'm not being funny, if he was my manager, I'd be saying I can't stand them. Like he is a gobshite. But yeah, fucking enough about them. I just hope they don't win the league. I really do. I can't stand it.
No, I'm exactly the same. Even while I was working today, speaking to somebody, he's from Scotland, he was like, "Oh, you a Liverpool fan?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, it's not going too well for you this season." I'm like, "Nah, it's not." And he went, who do you want to win the league? Arsenal or City? And I went to City. Like, didn't hesitate at all. I was like, because nobody cares if they win the league, and I just don't like Arsenal. And it's just, yeah, like you say, anyone but them. I think it'd be hilarious if Villa went on to win it, to be honest with you. I think that'd be an absolute fucking, like, Arsenal have bottled it a number of times and it's been funny. But imagine them bottling it to the manager that they sacked. Like, it'd just be fucking absolutely sensational. And yeah, I'd love it. I'd love it if they beat them. To reference Kevin Keegan there, just want to bring him up. Obviously been diagnosed with cancer. Wish him all the best. Yeah, just it's I'd love it. I'd absolutely love Villa to go on and win it over them.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Emery, to be fair. Fucking hell. Harvey Elliott won't get a medal, will he?
No.
Do you know what? There's a long way to go, and there's a lot of twists and turns to come. And as I said before, lad, you can. To be fair, Arsenal have got through December unscathed. You'll start seeing once the Champions League and that comes round again, and they're getting a little bit tired and they get their own injuries, they will start faltering. And if they don't, fair play to them. They're there to win football matches, and if they win the football matches, whatever boring way or set pieces, fucking wins they want to take it. Fair play. They're there to win football matches, but the be all and end all is that they're not likeable. And you know, I know we've got other fan bases, we've got our rivals who dislike Liverpool, but in terms of how we play football and how we conduct ourselves on the pitch, and the manager like Jurgen Klopp, as mad as he was at times, you couldn't not like him unless you was an absolute rival. But most of the country fucking like Jurgen Klopp, and it's the same for Dan. He's like, some of us don't like him because of some of the stuff he says after games and that. But in terms of as a football manager, there's not like any arrogance from him. There's nothing to dislike about him. For most of the country as neutrals will go, yeah, you wouldn't mind to see him win the league. He seems a fucking nice fella. That's not the case with Arsenal and Arteta. Like, I've had West Ham fans agreeing with me today, and Tottenham fans, and Man City fans, and United and Everton. And he's made this community of football fans that want to see him fail because he's everything that you don't like about football. And he's making Arsenal everything you don't like about football. And it's sad to see a little bit because Arsenal were everything that made you fall in love with football years ago in the 90s. Arsenal were football. That if I think of being a kid in the 90s under Roy Evans and like Gerard Houllier and that, it's Arsenal. It's your Thierry Henry's, it's your Bergkamps, it's your defence like Tony Adams and Dixon and Nigel Winterburn. It's a proper football team with a proper system who, you know, lived and died by the sword in the football he played and had an elegance and a quality about them. And that's completely gone. They've lost all of that. And for the proper Arsenal fans who've been there and done it in the past in Highbury and that, you do feel a bit for them. But for this online fan base, wish nothing but the worst for them. But they don't deserve anything, and I hope they don't ever get anything.
I agree. Look, let's bring it back to Liverpool a bit, shall we?
I've gone red in the face because of you cocky twats.
Yeah, let's bring the conversation back onto Liverpool because it is the Liverpool groove, it's not the Arsenal groove.
You've got no fucking groove.
They robbed it off us.
You start singing that soon.
Yeah, probably.
Go soccer, go knobheads.
Wouldn't put it past them. Look, but let's bring it back onto Liverpool because as positive as last night was in the second half in particular, and obviously you've got to look at the unbeaten run in as positive a light as you can. But overall, during that period of time, the performances haven't been good.
So before we move on, obviously we still haven't really looked at the Arsenal game. But just for instance, how the players have played yesterday. My biggest ick with yesterday was, as I say, Szoboszlai trying to control the game a bit too much. He was like the captain in the middle, and he was like the conductor. He was conducting how we play the game. He slowed us down when we need to slow down, sped us up when we need to speed up, but that was very rare. So I don't know how he got man of the match. He had 5 shots, none on target. Didn't get close with any of them, and thought he was very passive in his play. He'd get the ball and he'd pass it backwards. Other than him, and Kirk has the first half. Typical Kirk has, like, doesn't know what colour kit we play in. Does everything right, barring the passing bit. I thought, and Gakpo being Gakpo, just when I see him, I actually starting to cringe. Like, my skin crawls a bit because I know exactly what he's going to do or what he's not going to do. And him being on the pitch is like having 10 men. He's an absolute waste of time at the moment for me. I'd rather see Rio Wengamoa on the pitch on the left-hand side, or Virch on the left, or fucking Endo on anyone on the left other than Gakpo at the moment. He's my player who is killing me when I see him. But overall, I thought the rest of them played brilliant. I thought Konate and Van Dijk looked a lot more assured at the back. I felt sorry for Kirkes because Kirk has done that overlap over and over again to the left. Gakpo cuts in, won't look at him. Yeah, I thought Frimpong, I thought Bradley played sound at the back. I thought as a unit at the back with Gravenberch and McAllister like sat in front, I thought we looked solid. Didn't really get anything passed through us. McAllister started slow and grew into the game, looked like his old self again. Szoboszlai, not his best performance for me. Wirtz grew into the game the second half. As soon as he done that little wriggle through them, it was like he believed in himself again. He wanted to be on the ball, and he was sort of, he was sitting in deep. Frustrated me watching like players like Wirtz pass the ball and then run backwards because we know we're not going to produce anything. And I thought Frimpong was absolute dynamite. Like I think he was my man of the match by a mile. Seeing him stop the ball dead and then go past players, seeing him running behind, it was like a football game on the computer at times. Like it just didn't look real. He had that much space at times to get in behind because of his own pace. He gives defenders 5 yards and he's still on them. And yeah, I think he was brilliant. I think that's my one thing I hope to see for the remainder of the season is that Frimpong remains on the right wing, but with a striker. Because I think if he puts that ball across the box, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be someone there, or it's going to get deflected out and cleared to a position where there's going to be a Szoboszlai or a McAllister ready to shoot. I just think if we fill that, get that little bit of confidence back in our game, that if we send another body or two forwards, we're not going to get counter-attacked and battered. It's different against teams like Arsenal with your Sakas and that, but yeah, I think if we start prioritising getting more bodies in the box and on the edge of the box, having 2 inside, Ekatike and Isak, I think Frimpong gets loads of assists from that area and a few goals himself as well. Because he did the shot as well when he was one-on-one. When he cuts to the right-hand side, he should have just hit that as hard as he could.
Yeah, no, he did need to be a bit braver at times, but overall, I do agree. I think he was our best player by quite some distance. Yeah, Szoboszlai, like you say, I think was definitely one of his weaker performances when you consider he's probably been the shining light of the season for the most part. Thought it was a poor performance on his by his levels. McAllister, like you say, probably his best performance of the season last night. I think he's had a really difficult season. Hasn't hit the heights that we know he's capable of. He hasn't even come close to it, but last night did seem a bit more like the old McAllister. Gravenberch, I thought, had a sort of quietly really good game. Thought he was breaking up the play well. Wasn't really giving Declan Rice a lot of room to have an impact on the game. I thought he was sort of quietly really good. And as you say, defense overall was fantastic. I thought Conor Bradley dealt with Trossard, and then Martinelli, I thought he dealt with him well. Kirkes had tough times with Saka, as you'd expect. But I think once he got into the game, I thought he done well against them. At the same time, I thought it was a really good battle between a tricky winger and someone who can be solidly defensive. And then, yeah, centre-halves were great. Credit to them, because I think both of them, not just Konate has obviously been worse, but I think both of them have been very poor this season, if I'm being completely honest. Van Dijk has been an absolute shadow of him, of his former self this season, and I think last night they both looked very, very good. My only disappointing thing from anyone, realistically, to be honest, is probably a bit of Gakpo, but I think Alisson,
bit of him.
just a little bit, yeah, just like his left leg now. Now Alisson, his distribution lately has been absolutely fucking woeful. He's hitting these passes along the floor all the time and they're going to the opposition. Like, it's like he's forgot how to kick the ball properly most of the time. And it's putting us under like unnecessary pressure a lot of the time. And it's lucky that we've got to keep it as good as him to bail us out from his own mistake. But now his distribution for somebody who we know actually can be fucking close to elite in terms of distribution when he wants to be, it's been very poor.
I think it's hard again because it's the way we play. So obviously he's passing the ball directly to them across the floor, but I think in the heat of the moment and a rash decision where it's them moments where you need calm and you go, right, let's collect the ball, get into position. He's trying to make something happen out of nothing, trying to open up a pitch so we can counter attack. But it's not the way we play. The players aren't in them gaps anymore. And when they are, he passes it to the other team anyway. But yeah, I think it's just a rashness to try and get us on the front foot, because I think he's taking that away from the midfielders a little bit, because that's what you want your midfielders to do, but they get it in decent areas and slow it down. So I think sometimes he was just a case of forcing it a little bit. And yeah, we've seen him. I think he done it twice yesterday. One of them was nearly catastrophic because they got about fucking 5 on to 3 of us. But again, when he was counted upon in the goal, he was there for us. Even in that aspect of him, this season has been shots going in that you wouldn't usually expect to go in. But at that point now, where that belief of when a player's 1-on-1 with him, 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't even bat an eyelid. I'd be like, Alisson's winning this. Now it's the other way now. I just feel like every shot that's going on our goal is going to go in. It's just the way we've been. And I think it's weird. I think football just goes in circles where you have loads of luck and you have no luck. And this season we've had none. You know, anything that could have went wrong has really gone wrong. Anywhere we've made a mistake where sometimes you get away with it, we've been punished. So it's just been one of them seasons. And it hasn't been easy on the eye because of the football we're playing. So I think the initiative of some players to try and break the mould and do stuff off plan, as good as it is to try and get us going forward, it's costing us because it's not working and the other players aren't expecting it. But I do want to see more of players playing less robotically and making decisions based on the moment in the game. And as I say, Szoboszlai a few times yesterday, he could bomb forward into an area of space with 2 or 3 players to come with him and win in, and chose not to because we're too cautious. So once that gets eradicated out of our game and we be brave, I think you'll see Liverpool again.
Yeah, I agree. But now you talk about luck. You know, you've only got to look at that Harrison Reed goal for Fulham at the weekend. Hadn't scored for 18 months, and then, you know, he gets the ball 30 yards out. We decide to not even attempt to close him down, and he hits one in the top corner, which no keeper on the planet is saving. You can't take
against them at Anfield, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the them type of shots where, and I had a little bit of a go at our defence. We're expecting a long ball into the box, aren't we, off a throw in? So no one's looking to be 40 yards out away from the goal, and they fucking duped us. Give it to him. I don't think in a million years anyone's expecting him to hit it and get it where he got it. But that's the thing with us. We do stand off everyone. We let people shoot at our goal, and other teams don't. Other teams are throwing a body there, lying down, whatever way they have to do it, sliding in and blocking it. We're nowhere near him. But again, that'll never happen in his life again. So you've just got to take them ones on the chin. I think it was a kick in the teeth, but we didn't deserve to win the game anyway.
Yeah, and I think we done that a lot last season, didn't we? Where there was a lot of games, certainly second half of the season, where you're watching them and you think we probably didn't deserve to win there, so made up with that we did get it, and it just hasn't happened this season. And that was another example of it, where we just, like you say, haven't had that luck that we needed last season, and you know, every team that wins the league needs a bit of luck. Even when we won it in 1920, there was a lot of games where you probably look back on them and go, we probably shouldn't have won that, but fucking fair play to the lads. They done well. They dug in and they got the win. So yeah, it happens, innit? It's just one of them. I think it's been said a number of times, if the performances themselves had been up there and you've just been beat by a better team, then you just go, you know what, yeah, fair enough. The lads put in the effort. The other team's better. You take that on the chin. You know what I mean? But it's just the performances haven't been there for a large part, pretty much for the majority of this season. I think for me, I can only really say the Frankfurt game and last night, where I can say we've looked like an actual fucking really good team. Maybe Madrid at home as well, actually.
Madrid at home, definitely. That was full Liverpool. That's what I mean. you've got them moments where we're playing that type of football and we're that fucking passionate and we're fiery and we're trying to win every ball and we're fighting, and then there's none of it. And that's what I can't put my finger on, how it can come and go and come and go. And that's the frustrating part for me. And that's where the manager gets the blame, because like, is it a tactical thing or isn't it? But based on his words himself, he's just dumbfounded as us how it's going. So, you know, if he was coming out saying, yeah, we've tried to play this way and it hasn't worked, you go, yeah, change it up a bit. But the way we're playing isn't like how he wants us to play anyway. That's not the system he's trying to implement, and it's not the plan. But the players sort of looks like they're doing their own thing at times. And that's based on last year, say, for instance. We've started the new year with a decent result away to them. And fingers crossed we can make that the pinnacle now of what we aim for. We try and just keep putting pressure on teams and keep a lot more of the ball. Because I've said all last season as well, and I've said it this season, everywhere we go, we look like the away team. Like usually you go to Fulham and you go to Leeds and you dictate the play and you look like, you know, we're going to get a goal soon. Everyone we play at the minute, we look like the away side, whether we are home or away. And we're letting them have all the ball and we're letting them bombard our goal without really showing anything back. And that's what's frustrating me. It's not like watching Liverpool. I've said it a number of times. It's like we're a League Two side in a cup competition against a big team. We've nicked a goal and we're just absorbing all the pressure for the rest of the game. And that's what it's like watching us. That's what it's been like anyway. So fingers crossed we've gone beyond that. But every time we do something good, we do something bad. So I just want a bit of consistency with the form. I want a bit of consistency with the passion and the level of belief the players have got, the determination they've got to win duels and to win 50-50s and to not shit out of tackles. That's what we've seen against Arsenal, and that's what I want to see for the rest of the season now, regardless of the personnel on the pitch. If Endo's playing centre-half or if fucking Robertson's playing left-back or Gakpo's playing up front, I just want to see them all have a bit of fight. And if we're going to have to hand that title over in May, then do it with a bit of decency and pride and say, do you know what? We weren't as good as you this year, but we'll be fucking there or thereabouts next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we wrap up, which will be soon, I want to, and we're going back in time a little bit here now, because as I say, it has been that long since we've done one. But the Salah situation, when he obviously had them comments after whatever game it was, I can't even remember what one it was now. And then obviously sort of the fallout with it with Carragher and you know, Slot's reaction and things like that. And obviously it's been a massive talking point ever since, really. What was your whole what was your position on it all?
It's difficult because again, we're all in. It's like being a schizophrenic, being a Liverpool fan at the minute, because like you show that performance against Arsenal and you have a little bit of belief and the manager comes out and says what you want to hear him say and you're all on the same wavelength, and then the week before we're a little bit shit and the manager seems a little bit happier than the fans and you're like, what's he on about? So at the minute, no one knows quite who they like, what they want, what we're playing. So at the time, I was a bit like, I'm almost certain there's been a conversation in the dressing room and they've chose someone to come out and have a little dig at the manager because they're not happy with how things are going. I think there's been things with McAllister. I think Van Dijk's made a few like little comments that could be seen as swipes. Salah, I think there was one more, Curtis Jones. So there's a few of them who you could interpret as little swipes. They're not quite happy with how things are going and they're not sure why. So I thought Salah was the fucking short straw, basically. You're going to go out. You're the main man with the big following, the superstar. You make the comments, and he's made it. Thought it was, without going into the manager's office and having that conversation with him first about a fallout and no relationship and all that, thought that was harsh and stupid, a little bit out of order. But if the position of all the players was that the manager wasn't doing anything to benefit any of the players, then it had to be done. So I was on both sides. I think it should have been kept in house. It should have been done professionally. It should have been, you're not playing me. I'm the whipping boy now because, you know, I'm Mo Salah. I'm the statements like with Ten Hag and Ronaldo. You take me out the team and Liverpool can get better. That's been the case, to be fair. Salah's gone out the team and we haven't lost a game. That's not on Salah. The Salah situation is on Arne Slot because the football we're playing doesn't benefit any of the players we've got. And that's my belief that Vert is going to struggle until either Arne Slot changes his system or the players adapt to the system or a new manager comes in. I think it's the same for the likes of Curtis Joneses, who isn't excelling anywhere at the minute. I think it's the same for your Isak, who's just like a fucking sitting duck all the time. He's just stood there waiting for something to happen and we don't give him the ball. The likes of your Echetikes, you could put him on a pitch with rugby players and he'd find a way through it. He's that type of player. He's like Thierry Henry in the sense he'll go and find the ball and he'll do what he has to do to get towards the goal. That's just his breed of player. So yeah, with the Salah situation, I just thought it was a bit of everything. It was someone having to speak out, and it was probably a bit harsh. I thought Carragher went in balls deep on Salah without really understanding the situation. But as a Liverpool fan, I also got it like you are disrespecting the club at a time of crisis, at a time where it's not really going well. You've made it about yourself. You've put your feelings above the clubs and the rest of the players. Saying you should be playing because you've done well in the past doesn't really sit well with me either, because fucking hell, most good players could say that. Oh, well, I've done that fucking 5 years ago. So, but the thing is last year was probably his best ever year.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like he's not just going to go shit over the summer. So, yeah, the conversation needs to be in house. Hopefully, it's all done and dusted. He's gone with Egypt. Hopefully, he gets a bit of success there and he comes back firing. But again, I'd love nothing more than to see Salah on the right with a proper left winger on the left, Vert behind the striker, and going gung-ho at teams with balls getting played in behind, how we should be playing football. And I think Salah's really missing Trent, because Trent seemingly did his own fucking thing, whatever the plan was. If he's seen an opportunity to get in behind, get us on the front foot and attack, he'd do it at any risk, whether he lost possession, whether it worked, he'd just do it. He played on initiative, and we don't like saying it, but we fucking missed that. We missed that level of quality that can open up a complete team with one stroke of the ball. And Salah's missing that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to agree with the 10 point, but no, I think we do miss having that kind of quality from that position. Somebody who's got full scope of the pitch and can, you know, the vision he had and his ability with the ball is second to none. As Carragher used to say, you know, it's like having Kevin De Bruyne at right back. Yeah, we do miss it. It's one of them, isn't it? We all fucking hate them when he left, but we miss it. You can't escape from that. But now I was exactly, I think I was the same as you. Really, I was doing my best to try and understand it from every perspective, try and understand it from Salah's point of view. I think some of what he said was there was definitely some substance to it, but I think he's gone about it the wrong way at the time. I think Slot probably. I don't think Slot handled it in the aftermath straight away the best. I think the first thing, you know, in his next press conference after it, and he got asked about it, I think the first thing that should have been done there is, you know, he should have been going, Mo Salah said, we don't have a relationship anymore, so I've spoke to him first thing Monday morning and aired out our grievances, cleared the air kind of thing. That's the first thing Arne Slot should have been doing in the whole situation. Soon as somebody, any player in the team, if a player comes and says, I've got no relationship with the manager should be going, shit, what's going on here? Whether I've done something wrong or whether or whether that player's misunderstanding the situation, something isn't right somewhere. I need to fix this. That should have been the first port of call. The fact that he hadn't spoken to him for days didn't sit right with me at the time. I thought Carragher's initial response was maybe a little over the top, but I understood it. The little subtle digs that he was having after just didn't help the situation. Um, I, he, Carragher started to make it a little bit about himself, I thought. At the same time, it got to a point where nothing that was happening was helping the situation. But as I say, I tried to understand it from every perspective. And yeah, hopefully it is now all resolved. You know, his last game before he went to the AFCON, he was brilliant for us. In fairness, he played really well against Brighton. So hopefully that wasn't the last time we see him in a Liverpool shirt. He goes on, wins the AFCON with Egypt, comes back firing, and we have a strong end to the season.
I think Slot. When you say Jan's the wrong, it must have pissed him off if there has been nothing that's gone on, or there hasn't been no fucking crosswords or anything to just say there's no relationship. So he might have just let it fucking die down a little bit. Might have been heat of the moments, let it calm down and wait for him to come to him. Because that's realistically, if that was me, if I was the boss of somebody and they'd been talking about me like that, I wouldn't be crawling to him. I'd be saying, well, if you want to get back in this team, you come and see me when you're ready. You know what I mean? So I think you've got to see it that way as well. But I think Slot, after it, take him out the team, let him know that he's not bigger than the club, or he's not, that the manager was backed by the hierarchy and the situation is the situation. But then don't be a stubborn cunt either. You've given him his punishment, you've took him out for a game, have the conversation, and then get him back in. And that's what he done. So if he'd dragged it on, he's not playing the next game, he could have just gone to AFCON early. And that would be the end of Mo Salah at Liverpool, and it would have been a fucking travesty. Because he's in the top 3 to ever play for the club, probably. Top 3 or 4 anyway. And we've seen over the harshness of football over the last few seasons where you don't get to fucking wave goodbye to players when they leave, or, you know, they fucking pass. So, yeah, it would have been an absolute travesty to not get the Ferrari he deserves when he leaves us. So, you know, us all as football fans, we are fickle as fuck. As soon as he starts slowing down, it'll be like, if we can get 10 mil here, we can get 20 mil, get rid of him. Some players deserve a bit of credit and a little bit of, yeah, you're allowed to slow down, lads. We'll play for 20 minutes a week until your legs have gone. When your legs have gone, you mightn't get a game, but at the end of the season, you'll get clapped off and you'll get wished all the best by the fans, because that's what you deserve. So, yeah, that's what I want to see happen with Mo Salah. I hope that's what he wants. And again, we've said the physique of him, the ability of him when he is on it, he could play till he's 35, 36 at a really, really top level. I hope that top level is with Liverpool, because most clubs would be after him in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think we can find a way now to adapt to his needs he's a winger / forward. He's made that position his own, does his own thing. Start utilising him and like leave him up front. Let him get in behind. Let him get in them one-on-one situations and leave the work to the midfield. And, you know, Frimpong dragging players out wide so Salah can get in, and Verts with his balls towards goal and stuff, like making shit happen as a number 10. That's what Salah needs, and we're not playing that football at the minute. And I think it's just frustrated everyone, and he's blue as top. But all in all, hopefully a conversation's been sat down going, this is what I want us to be fucking doing. And eventually that's what we'll be doing. And when we're doing it, we'll be winning football matches and we'll be winning silverware. You know, we've showed a little side of us that can play that way. And when we're doing that consistently, that's what Liverpool will be about, and that's what we all want us to be about. No one wants to see a manager or a player leave prematurely anyway. You know, Arne Slot's got a contract. He's a league champion. And none of us want to sit here and go, oh, we can't take the footy anymore, or can't take his attitude or anything anymore. We just won't change. I don't want change. I want him to see him fix it. I want to see us go out and play the football he showed us we can play at times, but it's got to be soon. We've got to start seeing signs of it. And again, if you can add a few more attacks to that Arsenal game and a few more moments of bravery from the individuals, and the shackles are off a little bit more, and we start hitting 9, 10 shots a game and a lot more on target, then that's the Liverpool you want, and we're not a million miles away from it. It's got to be a few tweaks here and there, and it'll click. And when it does, we'll be back in the mix.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Gonna wrap it up there for today. Probably a little bit all over the place really because it's been that long and we so much to try and cram in with how we've been playing and stuff like that. But one thing I did just want to finish with today, if you follow Jay at Scouse Republic on Twitter, you'll see that he shared this a few days ago. The GoFundMe for Steve, who sadly passed away over Christmas, was a mate of Jay's, Jay knew him well. Just an absolute tragedy for his family. Hopefully, his partner is, makes a full recovery. Thankfully, his little lad didn't sustain too serious injuries in the crash, but an absolute tragedy. And yeah, just wanted to bring it up and say our thoughts with his family, and if anyone can, the GoFundMe is there for anybody to donate to. And I think you were saying before, Jay, I think there's going to be a few little charity events going on in his memory.
Yeah, so everyone, I knew him from footy, so everyone who played footy with him knew what he was like. Top lad, bit of a joker, but genuinely decent, really lovely fella. As he grew up, all his life was football, Everton, and his kids and his missus. So, it's a horrible loss, horrible way to lose someone, and his family's ripped apart by a drunk, fucking drugged up driver, which is just a fucking disaster, really. It's always them who live in it, and it's the innocent people who get killed. But yeah, there's gonna be a few things in his memory. There's a few football matches. There's talks of like a tournament where teams will pay money to go into it, and it'll go into supporting his family and stuff. I know all the lads I know who've played with him over the years, when they're dusting the boots off to get on the pitch to play for him. So we're looking at putting a little team together to try and either enter the tournament or have a charity match, which would be weird coming down to see because none of us kick a ball anymore, really. So yeah, it's sad, but again, like, he was an Evertonian. You've got all the football communities from the grassroots to different football teams and Liverpool as well, and ex-footballers all noticing him and letting the family know they're thinking of them. And I thought it's hard when how many people we lose at football clubs a year, and it's like the messages go out, can we have a clap on this minute and this minute? And it's hard sometimes because it gets lost a little bit, because if it happens every week, it's just going to be basically everyone who ever passes away in any circumstance gets that ovation. It's like you don't expect it to go off as good as it did at Everton the other day, because it happens so often. So fair play to Everton for putting his picture on the screen, and fair play to all the Evertonians on the 33rd minute, because it was a brilliant ovation, and he'd have been made up at that. He'd have probably cringed a bit, but he'd have been delighted with that. And again, we'll all be trying to do our little bit here and there. The GoFundMe's there, and if you can help in any way with supporting that, just have a little look on my page, and that's pinned to have a look. But other than that, there'll be loads of probably charity and family events over the course of the coming months to try and support his family, and everyone can get involved. So I'll post about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I say our thoughts certainly go out to his family. Yeah, and just tragedy, and like Jay said, if you can't help out in any way, shape or form, even if you just share his post on Twitter, it all helps. So yeah, terrible tragedy. But look, I'd say we are gonna wrap up there for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I know it's been a while since we have been here, as I said earlier, but we will try and be a bit more consistent with it going forward. Because we do enjoy these these long fucking natters about the Reds.
We
Good
need to
or
start
bad.
keeping them to 45 minutes, lad.
I know we do. People are probably sick of it by the time it gets to this long, because like anyone who actually sticks around to the end, fucking fair play to you, by the way, because even we struggle sometimes. So
there's no structure, there's no script,
no,
there's nothing about it. We just sit here and have a natter, and sometimes we do go off target and off topic and stuff like that. That's just, there's no structure to it. It's, don't get me wrong, I think it's great being like that, but we are going to try and be a little bit better in the future,
try.
having some sort of structure. But I think that's why we have our little followers, because we're a bit different than the others. We're a bit more zany and a bit more honest.
Definitely.
So we were going to summarise that podcast. If you don't want to listen to all of it, Arteta's a cunt. We hate Arsenal. And hope Liverpool get better under Arnie Slot with Salah in the team.
Yeah.
Just forward to now.
Yeah, just forward to an hour and 15 minutes into it, and you'd be laughing. Yeah, couldn't have summarised it any better. So with that, up the fucking Reds.
Up the Reds.